Về đây nghe em, về đây nghe em, về đây mặc áo the đi guốc mộng, kể chuyện tình bằng lời ca dao, kể chuyện tình bằng hạt lúa mới, kể chuyện tình bằng nồi ngô khoai. Và về đây nghe gọi tiếng xưa để nhớ trong tiếng vỡ bờ. Về đây nghe em, về đây nghe em, về đây thỏa ước mơ đi hát dạo, để chào đời bằng hạt sương mai, để bằng lòng ngọt ngào hấp hối và hận thù người người lắng xuống, rồi tìm nhau như tìm xót xa trong lúc lệ đã đầy vơi. Này hồn ơi lên cao, lên cao.
Năm 25 tháng 7 năm 2019, hôm nay trước hết là cảm ơn chị tuổi lớn đã tới, và cảm ơn tất cả các cháu, gồm lại 6 người ở Bidong, 5 người Bidong và 6 người ở Portland, là Hiệp Nam Quân, Chứ, Mì với Định đều có mặt ngày hôm nay. Cái đó là cái vinh hạnh mà rất là khó làm được. Con cháu đi về tốn kém lại thì không kể, nhưng mà thu xếp thời và phát biểu không có dễ. Thành ra rất là cảm ơn tất cả mọi người, cảm ơn chị 89 tuổi cũng cố về để dự cái ngày hôm nay. Thành ra cái này là một cái đặc biệt mà sẽ ghi nhớ luôn, là ôn lại cái kỷ niệm từ thời trước khi mọi người thành công Hiệp á. Sau khi thành công thì mỗi người đi một ngả, và bên này là lần đầu tiên mà 6 cháu đó lại ở với nhau và nói chuyện thân mật y như cái hồi Bidong hay là hồi còn ở Portland đó. Thành ra cái đó là cái điều rất là hiếm có. Thì cảm ơn tất cả các cái cháu bé. I think I have to speak something so you don't understand. I thank everyone, bà nội, 89 years old, and 6 of the younger generation that call me auntie. 6 of them have been together for years when we came to the United States as refugees, and we made up our life here at that age. And now you all are doing as well as American one, or I think better. So the younger generation, I know you. I want you to learn more, and you will know more at the main celebration about your parents, your aunt and uncle, and even your great aunt, your grandma, and your grandpa who's not here with us. And you have to learn, and I think you have more opportunity than us. So you have to be doing better than us, but at least as well as us. I will be ashamed if you have all the benefits of this free country with the care of your parents, and you don't do as well as us. We came here at a middle age. I came here when I was 39, and everyone was doing well. So I heard you learn from the example, and I wish you well today, and thank you all for coming. Bây giờ trước hết là quà. Bà đưa cái này đó là this is the I order it, and there are 8 family, one to each family. 40-year family reunion, Pulo Bidong 1979, Minnesota 2019 for each family. And each family have a cup with the word Minnesota. And you choose, you choose the cup later, and that is the gift. The gift, and then the gift to thank you, thank you, and the oldest and the youngest. These are for the youngest. Who is the little one? Oh, you little one. Who's second in line?
Mali, hi.
Son. Yeah, and then...
My son, Mali, has Mali.
Yeah.
And then,
Thank you, Lee.
and then,
Thank you.
Milan, has Milan.
Thank
I
you.
mean, my son.
already have it.
T, and who else? Bảo. That's all. Hey, you buy your own gift. I give you money, I give. Huh? And then a T-shirt for your parents. T-shirt. This is for the oldest, the youngest, in the middle.
Okay thôi chị ta.
Let me. Con này con đưa vào bà.
We got $50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you cannot spend it. You have to ask your mom.
This is for here.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, here.
I understand your suffering.
Ah.
I am so.
This is for Uncle and Nam family. And this is for Quân. I will say that the main one. I can do it without my assistant. Yeah, Quân. And this is for thằng con Quyên chứ anh Trâm.
Yes, thank you, ma.
And this is for Dick and Girl.
Thank you.
And this is for me. They all polo. Okay, so now we can thank you. Now we start. Rồi chúc đi sau. Anh Quân có cái gift cho ba cụ. Let me do it. Anh Quân, these are my gift. But anh Quân have the gift for cụ. Có hình cụ. Đây, anh Quân làm này là cho ba cụ. Quyên cho các cụ. Cái này cho Quyên. Cái này cho Quyên. Thank you, anh Quân. Bác Quân. And you can look at the program for the next few years. Thôi, mời mọi người đi ăn.
Đem ánh sáng hân hoan trên trời dọi vào đời cho ta tình cầu yêu thương. Này thịt xương ta chưa mang theo khi ngã xuống mê man tuổi hờn. Này về đây nghe nhau thở dài trong đêm. Về đây nghe em, về đây nghe em, về đây cùng khóc trên sông nước buồn. Chờ lòng người trở về quê hương, chờ hồn mình về dòng suối mát, chờ thật thà vào lòng dối trá và nhạc hoa xin tạ kiếp ơn hoang phế khi đã gặp nhau. Về đây nghe em, về đây nghe em, về đây thỏa ước mơ đi hát dạo để chào đời bằng hạt sương mai, để bằng lòng ngọt ngào hấp hối và hận thù người người lắng xuống.
Mọi người tự động xả tội xong rồi lại ông bà cụ ha.
Dạ.
Ông bà cụ, ông bà cụ.
Dạ.
Dạ, đấy, sửa sửa đó, bên cạnh là làm con làm quán đôn đó. Chị ra là thầy thấy người đó liền nè. Mắt thầy tinh, cái duyên thấy về chứ thật ra mắt thầy mờ lắm.
Bác Hưng với chú Triệu này xong rồi hình.
Dạ, anh Nhung anh còn
Con thấy không? Con thấy không?
thưa thầy đây là
Nào cho thầy phải là cái gì đó.
anh Thứ đâu nhỉ?
Đây này.
Chùa mình nhà mình là đông nhất này rồi đó.
Cái hình
Thưa
này
thầy
này.
đây là ông anh rể là chị chồng của bà chị con đấy. Ông tới đây cũng là dược sĩ.
Đặng Hữu Kiên hả?
Không ạ, là Trần Đình Thứ.
Trên Linh Thứ dạ dạ.
Thưa thầy đây là cái thằng nhỏ mà đi biển anh con mất. Cái ông anh con mất đó. Bà chị mẹ mong bên kia. Cái nhà con ở đây biết mấy chục người.
Mình bố thơ này.
Vâng, có.
Anh qua có khỏe không?
Mẹ anh con đấy.
Đó, ông nội right there. Ông nội.
Don't see him.
Trên thứ. Right there.
That him?
Yep, that's him.
Two.
Trần Đình Thứ.
The one next to the gray guy next to the blank.
Yes, yes. Two from the right.
Từ dưới lên thành cái năm.
Giao trách nhiệm.
Con đâu có dám vậy.
Oh.
That's your friend. Okay.
Bên này.
Bên đây hình của
Trường.
đâu ạ? Đâu ạ?
Cậu Hưng đó, blue background đó, top row, second row,
Yeah, I see cậu Hưng.
Ông nội của
Sao mình không để một row? Tại sao mình không để một row? Cái này là
để được theo thứ tự thời gian.
thay thời
Mình để
gian.
đó rồi những người khác nó có chết.
Tại sao Đàm Quang Tuấn đâu có Đàm Quang Tuấn là sao?
Bác Tuân đó.
Cậu Tuấn, cậu Tuấn.
Làm con Diệu. Làm con chị làm lô.
Đâu ạ? Chị đâu?
top luôn,
Top
first one, the last one.
Nó hỏi ông Ngân đó.
Còn đâu.
Ông bà Đông đây.
Còn bây giờ đến bên đàn bà này.
Thầy chào cả gia đình. Khi nào về thăm thì ghé chùa ha. Thầy xin phép gia đình tự nhiên nha. Lên nước rồi cho gia đình tự nhiên. Không thầy đến giờ đó cũng phải về chứ. Trên bàn hả? Rồi được chụp rồi thôi.
Bà có bà Hiền rồi.
Rồi, thầy nha.
Khi về rồi con
Ok.
lo ăn cơm mặc
Cứ tự nhiên.
Đó bà Hiển đó. Bà ngoại bên đâu thấy cái hình nhỏ đâu.
Bà Hiền, bà ngoại là 2000.
Bà ngoại hình rất là đẹp.
Bà ngoại đó. Vâng, mọi người đấy. 2000 là ngoại.
Là một quỳnh mới. Tôi thấy đi có hình lùn. Top. Nó very top. Thấy cái mắt của em đấy là. Cái bố về đây này. Bố về đây này. Còn bác thứ bên kia. Còn ông nội, ông Trường đây. Đấy, áo đỏ. Bác Hưng. Chú Triệu, chú Tuân ở trong cái top.
Bác Hưng đó, top row, blue background.
Ông tổ sư của Phật.
Vâng, tổ sư là cái ngành
thứ 28 ở bên
Vâng.
Ấn Độ.
Vâng.
Ông là người đầu tiên mà từ Ấn Độ sang Trung Hoa để truyền giáo.
Vâng.
Và ông được tôn là sư tổ. Phật giáo ở bên Trung Hoa đó.
Vâng.
Đây là tổ thứ nhất.
Vâng.
Đại khái.
Vâng.
Vậy
Thế còn
là
mấy cái ảnh
Bồ Đề
của
Đạt Ma. Còn mấy ông cái hình đây là mấy vị tổ sư ở Việt Nam đó.
Vâng.
Các vị tổ.
Vâng.
Các
Thế cái ông này
thế
người
kỷ.
Việt mình nói là tên gì?
Ông này là mình tiếng Hán mình dịch là Bồ Đề Đạt Ma.
Bồ Đề Đạt Ma.
Từ
Vâng.
thời sang
Tức là
khi Trung Hoa cái thời
từ thời
Hán Vũ Đế.
vâng vâng
Là
đúng.
lương Vũ Đế.
Vâng, tức là từ Ấn Độ mà sang
Từ là
thì-
ông là tổ thứ 28 ở bên Ấn Độ, nhưng mà
Vâng.
là tổ
Tổ
thứ
tiên
nhất
của
của bên
người
Trung
Trung
Hoa.
Hoa.
Thì Việt Nam ảnh hưởng Phật giáo.
Vâng.
Cũng là
Bồ Đề Đạt Ma.
Bồ Đề Đạt Ma. Cái này.
Vâng, vâng.
Ồ, cái này
Còn tất cả đây là các vị sư mà ở Việt Nam, coi như là các vị tổ sư từ bao nhiêu đời ở Việt Nam, ở Phật giáo Việt Nam.
Ông ấy đi công việc.
những vị hòa thượng.
Còn có mấy ông này là ông sư mới nhất là Thích Tâm Châu đó, thì người ta đại khái thì
Vâng.
cũng nghe tiếng cái gì đấy.
Coi nhiều.
Còn mấy vị kia là phải tiền bối nữa.
Vâng.
Giống như là Phật
Thích
Thích
Ca
Ca Mâu Ni đó.
Ông Hiển chắc
Thì
là speak
cái
English
phần
đi ông Hiển.
cái phần
Speak English.
nhìn bên ngoài như là trang trí thì thôi, nhưng mà cái ý nghĩa chính đó thì là mình cúng dường một số tiền và tịnh tài đó để mà mình có cái tượng Phật này. Thì nếu ở trong tin tưởng về Phật giáo đó, thì mình cúng dường, tức là mình có dịp mình tạo cái phước đức
cho cái người.
cho cái người chính mình đã xong rồi. Cái phần nữa là công đức cho những người mình
Thân của mình
thân
đã
của
mất.
mình ở đây đã mất. Và trong cái phần ngay cả cái phần cúng dường phước đức cho tính cá nhân mình đó, thì mình có cái phần gọi là hồi hướng, return the benefit, the favor cho những người đã khuất, những người đây. Thành khi mà còn sống đó, như bà Queen với
Hiển đây này.
ông Hiển đó, thì cũng có để tên là Phật tử
Phật tử thôi.
Đàm Thanh Quý,
Còn chết
pháp
thì là
danh
hương
là
linh.
Diệu Kim, còn đã mất rồi thì đây là hương linh. Ví dụ như Bắc Thứ đó thì đây là hương linh
Hương linh
của
cụ là Phật
Trần
tử.
Đình
Còn
Thứ.
cậu Đôn mới lại
Thế
thằng
bây giờ-
Lù. Thấy chứ chỗ nào?
Đem Diệu Kim đứng dậy để lấy cái ghế mới nhìn thấy mới chỉ được. Bây giờ từ từ nhé, theo thứ tự thì để các cụ trước, hai cụ hậu á. Đó, thì là các chị phú ở chỗ này đấy.
Ông bà đâu? Chỉ ông bà.
Ông bà đã từ từ đã
Hành cái gì á?
đây hương linh của Phúc Huệ, Đàm Quang Hậu,
Phúc
Tuệ, đúng rồi.
pháp danh của ông là
Phúc Tuệ là intelligent, là trí tuệ.
là ông
Phước là phước đức đó. Đây là hương linh của cụ Diệu Nhượng,
Diệu Nhượng.
Phan Thị Nhị đó.
Bà.
Đó.
Danh thứ
Và
của
tên
Thứ đó.
của ông Quách với lại bà Hiền đó. Cái vậy.
Của cậu Hiền.
Thế bà Hiền nó có cái là hàng
Anh
dưới,
Thứ à?
nhưng mà cái của cụ Trần Đình Thứ đó thì nó cũng gần đây thôi. Đây hương linh cụ Trần Đình Thứ là cái
Đàm
này.
Quang Đôn. Đàm Quang Đôn.
Là cái Phật tử là Đồng Tâm, Đàm Thị Phú là cụ đó.
Wow.
Cái này bà quy tỏ là từ xe đạp
Của bố.
Đây là Đàm Quang
Cái
Đôn.
này là cụ Đàm Quang Hưng và Linh Chân đó.
Thì hồi đó chưa mất thì hai người. Cái còn bố
Đây bố Định.
cái thằng Lù.
Hương linh Đàm Quang Đôn,
Quang Đôn nè.
Hương linh Đàm Quang Trị. Đây cái này.
Còn cái mới nhất là của chị Quỳnh. Của mẹ.
Còn cái này cái Phật tử Đàm Quang Trứ, rồi mới Trâm. Đại khái vậy ha, trong khu này. Còn ai nữa không?
cứ làm xuống rồi
Không, mình làm từ dưới.
Khi theo
Ai
thứ
lựa
tự,
đó, khi
người ta lựa mất rồi thì có ô nào trống mình mới tỉnh thôi.
bây giờ hết rồi thì
Bây giờ cái của
Cái bên
mẹ.
trên còn những cái mà bên trên thì còn
Tức là
tại vì
mình
nó
mình làm cái phơ
chưa có tên, chưa có tên.
chưa có tên đấy, khi nào mà có người mất hay là không cần mất hoặc là họ muốn donate này.
thế bây giờ của
Chị
mẹ
Quỳnh đây, của mẹ Quỳnh
của mẹ
thì mới làm. Thì cái này gửi về Việt Nam in tên.
Đồng minh, đồng gì? Đồng minh Trần Tú Quỳnh. Đồng mới lắm.
Đó, cái 1, 2, 3, 4 hàng thứ 5 hay là hàng thứ 2 từ trên xuống đó, cái cột thứ 3 này là mẹ
Thấy không?
đứng đấy là đứng lên ghế,
Đứng lên ghế thì mới thấy.
đại khái là
Đồng minh à?
nhà Hương Linh Đồng Minh Trần Tú Quỳnh. Còn cái này của chú Triều này. Chú Triều không? Chú Triều cũng có một cái.
Down from Jim. Third down on the top.
Này new.
Đây là Luận Minh là quang Triều cái này.
He get it a few months ago.
Thì cái mà cái phước đức đó, đối với cái tin tưởng Phật giáo đó, thì mình cầu nguyện cho những người quá cố đã hương linh đã mất rồi đó, thì để không phải cầu nguyện cho cái gì chung chung là tốt không, mà cầu nguyện mà cái chính là siêu thăng mà lên đến cõi tịnh độ với Phật A Di Đà, giải thoát
So
siêu
he's
thoát
like,
khỏi
so he's
cõi
like
đời
second
tịnh độ.
in charge or something?
Something like that. There's a committee.
Oh, I guess
So he's part of the committee.
oh, I guess so. It's kind of like the council of this place.
That's right, council. That's right.
So
You're
yeah,
right.
so
Council.
it's like the council, and then the high council is at headquarters.
That's right.
Yeah, but right now he doesn't have the high council. He's
No,
just
no,
the
he's just
regular
local.
council.
He's just local. Yeah.
Như con nhớ là con có một cái không có
Không.
có gì đâu.
Con muốn là thì để tên
hai tên hai đứa.
con có pháp danh như vậy.
Con có pháp danh để pháp danh thì chú sẽ lựa ở đây chú sẽ
Thì con sẽ lên lầu thượng,
ấn đầu đầu thượng.
con lên lầu chứ con không để tầng trên.
Này là hết rồi không?
Cái hàng ngang này hết.
Chú sẽ lựa là con chỗ nào để gia đình.
Cái này là bắt đầu từ năm 2012 mà thế sao mà con còn.
Nhưng mà có cái dưới này là hay nhất.
Nhưng mà xong rồi.
Cái đó là từ 2010.
2010.
Okay. We have Theo sitting very relaxed, handsome. We have Nathan. Okay. Smiling big. Okay. And we have Joe and his lovely wife. Beauty and the Beast. And me. Hello. And we have the queen, the host, and the whole. Okay. Lovely family of Bidong. Guys, happy. Very nice picture. We have
My turn.
pictures of the kids. Oh, say hi. Hi.
Có kìa.
Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Big smile. Hello. Okay. All right.
Boat ring?
Yeah.
That ring? The bridge rings?
Oh yeah.
Get together.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Đây nó mới mát.
One, two, three.
Thank you so much. Ngồi ha. Đứng đây.
Oh no! Remember last time every time we crossed the bridge
I'll do all the girls. Madison, come here. Do all the girls. Come here.
Con look over here. Back.
Okay.
Đứng đây mà
All the girls up there. Lớn người nhỏ. Xong lên luôn.
Nó đứa nào bé nhỏ này đứng đây nè.
Em cả.
Chúc nha.
Đây chị.
Thấy không?
Con nửa gió nó mới về.
Thôi con bé này này con bé con bé trong the pink one yeah. Nó xấu làm lại nữa. When I say you press, okay?
Ôi hay quá.
1, 2, 3.
Look at me. Seiji, look at me. Over here. Look at me. Đây.
Thì muốn đứng như bà bé nó chụp cho bọn mình.
Rồi mát. Hôm nay không mưa.
Có mưa buổi sáng.
Không, chưa. Cô Quý đứng đằng sau này đi, nó chụp mình mấy cái.
Anh kêu.
Đây, chụp phim rồi.
Ngồi ba Quý ngồi cạnh.
Đấy.
Gần 90, gần 80 rồi đó.
Shit. Ok, đẹp quá rồi.
Anh kêu.
Nó có hẹn.
Dinner on the boat.
Có in ra ảnh được à? You know, everyone know me. Xin nói, I will have, I will speak English to you, so don't worry that I will get your kids. Yeah. Hôm nay đó là với tư cách của người tổ chức, chứ không phải là người có uy quyền nhất ở trong họ. Là phải, nhưng mà đã thỉnh ý là đại lão là chị Phú là người lớn nhất ở trong họ, nhưng mà chị chấp thuận cho là tôi nói chứ chị không nói, thì đó là phải nói có đầu có đuôi. Thì hôm nay gia đình họp mặt để kỷ niệm 40 năm đã vượt biên và định cư thành công trong tại Mỹ. Tôi muốn bắt đầu cái kỷ niệm 40 năm vượt biên đó bằng việc là xin chào mừng tất cả các chị và các cháu, con cháu trong gia đình, và tất cả là gồm có 20 người và có 5 người quý khách đặc biệt trong gia đình, hoàn toàn là gia đình. Đó là chị Chi, là con nuôi của bố mẹ tôi trong hơn nửa thế kỷ, và chú Thính Thức là cũng là gia đình, và Tuấn và Cát là Tuấn là con trai của chú và Cát. Tôi đặc biệt là cảm ơn chị cả của tôi là chị Phú, đó là trường lão của sau khi những người thân nhân mất trong gia đình thì còn chị là trưởng lão, và với cái tuổi 89 đó, mà lọn cọm đi từ California tới đây để dự cái này, đó là một cái vinh dự lớn cho tôi. Tôi cũng cảm ơn tất cả các cháu đã bỏ công ăn việc làm, tất cả là gia đình 5 gia đình định là 6 gia đình cùng với đàn con, vợ và công việc làm ăn mà nhập lại đi đến đây cùng một lúc. Đó là cái chuyện không có dễ gì ở cái xã hội này. Và chứ mặc dầu bận việc chứ đó thì thật ra đó chứ không thể vượt biên được, nhưng mà chứ nhập bọn là vì khi mà mọi người đến định cư ở Mỹ đó thì chứ cũng được đi bằng cách chính thức và nhập vào bọn hoặc lân thành ra coi như là tị nạn hết, không có phân biệt. Cảm ơn chị Chi với Thành Thức với mọi người rồi, và tôi cũng hãnh diện là hai gia đình có 20 người có mặt ngày hôm đây, tuổi từ 7 tuổi là Mi Lân.
Ai đâu?
You are the honor guest. Và chị tôi đó là 89, tức là 3 thế hệ mà cách nhau 82 tuổi. Họp mặt với nhau ở xứ Mỹ, tôi nghĩ cái chuyện đó không có dễ, rất là khó. Và đặc biệt là 18 người tới, và tôi với Hiển em họ là 20 người ở tại nhà. Các cháu cũng có đủ tiền ở hotel nhưng mà nhất định ngủ dưới đất ở nhà, mà 7 cái người phải ngủ dưới đất, kể cả chú Hiển, tại vì phải nhường phòng cho chị cả. Và tôi thì được cái hân hạnh là cũng được ở phòng, trừ mới đây là cho chứ với Trâm 3 ngày đặc biệt thôi. Tôi thấy là lòng rất là ấm áp khi mà thấy các cháu trai cháu gái ấy, nói chuyện với nhau y như là hồi cách đây 40 năm. Khi tới Mỹ, các cháu nói chuyện với nhau hồi còn đi học, bây giờ nó cũng thân thiết nói chuyện, nó cười nói, và nghe cái đó là tôi cảm thấy là còn giữ được cái nếp của gia đình. Trong các ngày cháu ở đó, ăn uống ngủ ở dưới đất, nhưng mà nói chuyện rất là vui, và anh em nói chuyện y như là ngày xưa. Thành ra cái đó là cái quý nhất. Nói chuyện giống như là lúc ở đảo tị nạn mà còn phải đi lãnh thức ăn. Rồi đến lúc đến Mỹ ở một cái building mà 3 nhà 3 phòng, mỗi kia thì có phòng ngủ rất là chật hẹp, mà đi học với nhau rất là khổ, không có phương tiện, khổ nhưng mà rất là vui. Tôi xin nói sau khi giới thiệu mới đầu, tôi muốn nói cái sự cảm ơn rất là chân thành đối với chị Phú và anh Thứ. Anh Thứ là anh dạy tôi rất là hiền, đã cùng đi và lo cho tôi và Hiền đi cùng với bác cháu. Tôi cũng xin một phút để nhớ lại và tưởng nhớ đến những người thân trong gia đình hiện tại không có dự ngày hôm nay. Đó là anh Thứ, anh Rẻ, anh Hưng, anh Đôn, anh trai tôi, và chị Tú Quỳnh là chị dâu. Tôi cũng nhắc lại là cảm ơn bác Hải là anh của chị Tú Quỳnh, mẹ của hai cháu, mẹ hai cháu đã nhờ và cùng đi cùng tàu, và tới nơi thì nhập lại cũng, và tới Mỹ thì ở cùng với cả, thành cũng coi như là đi một chuyến tàu, một gia đình. Tôi cũng cảm ơn sau hết là Quân đã là cái người đây. Quân là con út của chị tôi, mà nó là con nuôi của tôi, và nó không có nó tôi không có tổ chức được cái này. Trong suốt một năm nay cháu dạy học đại học mà cháu được nghỉ một năm, cháu đã để lại cái hình ảnh mà quý vị sẽ thấy. Cháu lo tổ chức cùng với, không có Tuân nữa tôi không có làm được, tại vì mấy đứa anh nó rất là ủng hộ, nhưng mà nó không có làm, nó không biết làm, nó biết computer, nó để cái này rồi nó lo từ đầu. Đó là cảm ơn Quân. Cho nên là 3 người chúng tôi là, và cảm ơn chú Hiển là phụ việc. 3 ngày hôm nay ca vắt đỏ với áo đỏ, tức là ban tổ chức. Có ban tổ chức. Hình ảnh của gia đình trong 40 năm vừa qua mà chúng ta sẽ sắp xem. Tôi mong tất cả sẽ có một buổi họp thật sự sẽ vui với gia đình và mọi người trong cái buổi họp này hôm nay. I would like in this version because in respect to Pat, the daughter-in-law of my cousin, And all of you who doesn't know English well.
No.
And I don't. And the importance of the message is for you, the younger generation. The message I want to send through this family reunion is to you young guy, not me, so that you know where we come from and how we have to live up with the family tradition. The struggle. You are the lucky part of the family, and I'm sure that you do better than us. There's no way you don't do as well as us, because we came at the middle age to a new country. Language is a problem, and culture, and we make it. I am proud to say that all of us, including your grandma, was teaching, and she had a bachelor degree in social work. Julian redo his license as a doctor and practice. I was teaching English in high school in Vietnam. I started law school when I was 38. I started law school in 38, and I completed law school in 3 years and worked for 22 years. Yeah, you will see, I'm not going to brag, but we have to see. I hope that you see what older generation have done, and you follow the example. You do well, but keep the family and the family ties very close. I want all of you to have a chance to see each other, cousin, and keep connected. Yeah, nobody needs food here, but you need some connection and to keep the tradition. That's the message I want to tell you before I translate my Vietnamese speech into English, right? So you know that you have to do it. I would like to begin the 40-year family reunion celebration by welcoming all of you members, all of you family members, and also I thank the guests, the two special guests who are family and friends. My special thanks to my older sister Fu, the matriarch of the family, who traveled from California at the age of 89 to join us today. Also thanks to my parents' god sister of 40 years, and my cousin Tuk and his wife, and the children Thuấn and Pat, to be with us today. I am very happy and proud. 20 members of our families joined me, no exception from the 6. There are 6 kids, I call them kids. 3 are sons of my sister, 2 are son and a daughter, Tony and Hannah, from my brother who passed away in the ocean a long time ago. And 2, my older, the second child of family, and he's a very special one because he's also my godson. There are 2 godsons here.
Original. The one with godson.
Yeah. I am happy to have 20 members of our family ranging from age 7. That's the youngest guy. Milan is 7, and my sister is 89. It ranges through 82 years, 3 generations together. And all of them live under one roof in my house, including 7 on the floor. I think they can afford to stay in a hotel, but everyone refuses to. And I want to tell you, my house is the cleanest since I moved in 30 years ago. Because I don't want to inhale want them to inhale the dust. I have it very clean in the house. As I mentioned earlier, I am excited to see my 6 nephews and nieces who were together talk to each other the way they talked 40 years ago. They are very friendly, talk as close family members, although they are They have white hair. The oldest is 60. No, here is the eldest. Sakarita. And the youngest is in the 50s. And they talk to each other the way they talked 40 years ago. That is what I appreciate. They were in a refugee camp in Pulau Bidong, Malaysia. And then when they came here, we all lived in 3 apartments in the apartment building, very poor, which is cheap, affordable, on Portland Avenue in Minneapolis. And that's where we grew up. And they only went away when they became doctors, professors, and everyone. I am proud to tell you, the young people, you have to be proud of your parents. Yes. And they have to be proud of me, Bakui. And Manolo. Because we are older. But at least the young generation, Richard, Michael, Nicholas, and Tony, and Tu, and Hannah, they all made it this one. They all made it in this one. I have a doctor, cardiologist. I have a professor. I have a PhD in electrical engineer, a PhD almost, between master in computer science. He passed the written exam, but didn't complete the oral exam because he want to work, he want to earn money. But I know he can complete it. And then Tony has a master in computer science, and he's doing, I know he's smart. He's smarter than a master, right? So Hannah is a computer science, and she's now going to law school at the age of 15. Wow. She will be an attorney in a few years, the children. So I'm not bragging, but I say that I have to be proud. And your younger one, if you don't make it as well as your older parent, you have to think about your responsibility. Because you have everything in this world. You have the luxury of, not luxury, but the comfort of American life. Your parents provide for you everything. And you go to school, and if you don't do as well as your parent, you have only yourself to blame. Remember that, right? I won't be here to see whether you make it, because I'm 78. I might be gone in a few years, in 10 years. I'm not here to judge you. But you have the sole responsibility of self-evaluation. Remember that.
You will be here.
10 more years I'll be here to check on you. Whether you make it to college, to professional school, but remember today, I will watch you wherever you are. So be careful. It's easier for me to watch you here and scold you. All you have to do this. Remember, I have a place where I can watch you more carefully. So remember, I do not go away if you don't see me in this world. Okay? You agree? You guys agree? You have to approve it, right? You have to remember this. I think that's. I have to tell you this because I say Vietnamese. My deepest appreciation is to my sister Phu and my brother-in-law who passed away now, who were with us, for putting me on the escape. Because they arranged everything. So I changed the life from teaching English and being the chief of a team of English teachers, teaching the highest level, teaching 12th grade. And I earned, the 4 years before I escaped, I earned what I calculate to US dollar, $4 a month. $4 US dollar a month. That's what I earned during the 4 years I worked with the communists. Under pressure, the communists you have to learn about communism that you never believe in. And that is terrible. For 4 years before I escaped. I have to spend most of my saving during the earlier time, Republic government time. That's why when I escape, I don't have enough money to pay for my trip. And my sister paid for it. I owe $5,000. That's what we pay for the trip. And coming here, I pay her back in a couple of years after I work. Yeah, I was lucky. You have to say this. I was lucky. I started law school a year after I came, and I have free tuition. The cost, remember, you guys have to be prepared for pay for tuition that you owe. In those days, 2 semesters for law school, University of Minnesota, cost $5,000, $2,500 a semester. And luckily, the alumni of University of Minnesota are very rich people, including the vice president of the U.S. one time, Vice President Mandela. So they gave money, and every year they gave a couple of scholarship to the most needy student. And I really deserve it, because I came to the U.S. penniless. So I say that I'm lucky to not have to pay the debt for higher education, but it's the effort. I made it. And so I stopped bragging. I know all of you are straight A students, all of you are honor students, but you have to keep the standard. Never lower your standard, right? You have to keep in mind, you will do better than your parents and your grandparents. That's the message I want to tell you today. Okay? Okay. Now, you look down, showing the picture of the past and enjoying the meal. I want you to come out of here completely happy. Okay.
Hello, everybody. I would like to have some minutes to, on behalf of Honor family, to say some time to Miss Gui, because you understand everything she started in her speech. I think we need to have a time. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And, even my English is not good, but I would like to ask my cousins to allow me to speak in English to save time to look for the picture. So, on behalf of all members of family, I would like to say some thanks to Miss Gui. She's my sister, and we are very fortunate to have this time of family reunion. We all her a lot, because she has spent a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of money. A wonderful week of family reunion and in the state of Minnesota, where we first settled in the United States. So Miss Gui, I think that is a very special person. Do you think so?
Yeah.
You listen to her speech, you think it's hard to follow her, right? Yeah. So we are now just to want to thank her many times in behalf of our whole family, members of families, because we are very fortunate and I'm very moved, because she remembers everything, and she said that she's very fortunate to be here and to show you her talents, and I hope that with her speech, all of you should do very good in the United States. Is it right?
Yes.
So, all of you, are you okay to agree with her? Yeah, to make more success in the future. Is okay? Okay, so I would like to have a very
Cảm ơn quản lý. Cảm ơn bạn.
They call me Queen, but it's easier for the kids to call me B-I, so they always call me Babi. Babi, that's my name with the kids. You like impress I think I'm very
Thôi
the
để
person
em xin
that
nói 1-2 phút thôi.
nói tiếng Anh đấy.
Tại vì để còn xem hình mà.
Đúng rồi.
Thế nói tiếng Việt là còn có tỷ phú. Trước hết là phải cảm ơn chị Quý đã cho phép em được giúp tổ chức cái cuộc họp mặt này đã.
Help a lot.
Yeah.
You giúp nhiều ấy, help.
Và điều quan trọng nữa là em muốn nói là em rất là may mắn được là một người em trong gia đình, không những trong đại gia đình và trong gia đình nhỏ của tỷ phú và họ Đàm đó. Cái mà em cảm động tận đáy lòng mà phải nhớ ơn tỷ phú Lê Thứ là người đã cho em đi thuyền vượt biên cùng với các cháu đó thì mới thoát khỏi cái sự kèm kẹp khủng bố mà của cái chính phủ cộng sản khi em ở Việt Nam, khi em là bác sĩ trong quân đội Việt Nam Cộng Hòa và bị bắt tại trận ngày 30 tháng 4 năm 75 rồi bị trong cái trại tù cải tạo mất mấy năm thì thành lúc nó thả ra thì như là cũng là tù giam lỏng đấy, Mỹ nó gọi parole đó, on parole để làm việc cho nó ở bệnh viện nhỏ cái trong chợ lớn đó thì thành ra được cái dịp thoát khỏi đó thì là rất là cái rất mừng cho em. Và qua Mỹ thì cũng cố gắng như chị Quý đã nói là cái gương cố gắng này thì có lẽ nó trong máu, chắc chắn nó là trong máu huyết của cái gia đình của Đàm mình, trong gia đình của mình thì này chị Quý đã nói là các gương ở cái người lớn thế hệ của tỷ phú anh Thứ và Bí màu hiện đây đó để các cháu nó theo nó sẽ thành công. So I want to say in English briefly for you to understand. I deeply grateful to chị Phú và Phú and her husband ông Thứ, who put me on the boat to escape from Vietnam, to stay away from the Vietnamese communist government, because I was a doctor in the army of the south of Vietnam, in the Republic of Vietnam. So in the last day of the war, I was captured and put in the prison for close to 3 years. Then I was released on parole and was forced to work for the communists in a small hospital and clinic in Chợ Lớn, a city near Saigon. So bà Phú và ông Thứ, they are the one who put me on the boat to escape from Vietnam. Yeah, along with the kids, we call kids, and they are young parents. Yeah, to go to refugee camp in Malaysia, and I came to USA. I made a great effort to be recertified to work as a doctor again in America. That's the example for you, the motivation for you to look up our older generation to follow our footsteps, to be successful. And now I'm very happy for all of you. The kids now, they have a parent and they are very successful professionally, and also they have very, very happy families. So that's just a few words. I show my appreciation to chị Phú, anh Thứ, và everyone. And I wish that you kids be successful, more successful than us even. Okay?
Yeah.
I hope that you guys know that ông Hiền is bà Quý and bà Phú's first cousin, right?
Yeah.
So you all know that. Just want to, so we have a very close family ties. Just in case, we hope that you keep the close family ties. Right.
And he's a good helper in this. He painted the sidewalk, paint on the window and the door, and he clean everything and get all the beds ready for you. That's his help. He's a good helper. So
Bác này cho thịt xong mình lại.
Ok, thôi nói một câu tiếng Việt thôi.
Còn nói tiếng Anh luôn này.
Kính thưa cô Quý Đồ Hiền, của Bà Thất, Bà Chi, để cho cháu xin nói với anh chị em, nói rồi cô cho các anh chị em cho xin nói tiếng Anh để cho bà biết.
Dạ, hiểu, phải nói hai thứ.
So, okay, so I've been asked by Bạc Quý and Hiền to give a short summary of the last 40 years. Okay, I know I'm the only thing standing between you and food, and so I'm trying to be very quick. Okay, so be patient with us. Okay, so I just want to recognize the kids. So I'm going to call your name, and please raise your hand. Theo. Okay, Nathan. Okay, Mason. Okay, Madison. Dylan. Okay, and then Brendan. Okay, Brittany, and Bradley. Okay, so this presentation I designed especially for you. Okay, so the point of this is that we all know you guys were born in the United States. You kind of maybe get a vague idea that you will somehow came from your parents and ancestors came from Vietnam. But today, hopefully, we'll clear up all of the stories on how we came to be citizens of this great country. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so I want to start with this map of Vietnam. Okay, I don't know you guys good geography, but Vietnam is border China and Thailand and Cambodia and Malaysia and Indonesia. The reason I point to this is because in our story, will we travel to this country, not only in Vietnam from north to south, but also to cross to Malaysia and also as Thailand and Indonesia. Okay, so the cities that you want to keep in mind are Hanoi in the north, Saigon in the south, Giang Da on the west coast of Vietnam. Well, Vietnam, by the way, is this S country here, and Malaysia and Indonesia at the bottom of this. Okay, so the next picture will explain how we are all related. Okay, this picture here explains how we're related. Okay, so this is what I call ông bà ngoại and you guys call ông cố. Okay, so related.
My parents.
Yeah, that's right. So this couple has 4 children. The oldest is
Your mother.
my mom, which is called
The
Bà
boss.
Phú. The next one is ông Hưng, okay, who is Jews, the dad. The next one, the third child is we call ông Đôn, which is Brandon. That's your grandfather and Tony's father. And then the youngest cute-looking kid here.
I had to have a baptism. This was given to me by my godson 8 years ago at my 70th-year-old birthday. He took our picture and bring it from California. And I hang it in the living room in my home. And ông Hiền said, I look very stubborn. and my best friend, who's an attorney and want to be my god sister, she came and this is what she said in a polite way. She looks like someone with a strong personality. Put it nicely.
Okay.
Okay. Next slide. So just one more sentence. Okay, so this family came from a scholarly, an old and scholarly family, which has a lot of focus on learning and public service. Okay, you will see this again and again as we progress through. Right. So this is from La Haye. Okay, so in case you're wondering where La Haye is, okay, so I hope that one of these days when you have the chance to visit Vietnam, it's very easy to get to. It's somewhere halfway between Hải Phòng, which is a major port city, and Hạ Long Bay, which is a major attraction in Vietnam. La Haye just right between here. Okay, so it's bordered by Bạch Đằng River, which is well known in Vietnamese history. Okay, this is where the Mongolian was defeated. Okay, so the dam, you guys were descended from a family originally from Bắc Ninh, but a branch came and settled in La Haye at some time, and that's where this family, where Bà Phú, Quý, all came from. Okay, so this is okay. So now we were doing okay until 1955, where the country was divided into two parts: the North, which is for the communists, and the South, which is the nationalists. Okay, so you can see here's a poster around that time, 1994, that urged people to move south to avoid communism. Okay, so this says, let's come to the south to avoid communism, and this says the southerners welcome northerners with open arms. Okay, so people try to get. So that's how we follow this advice, and our family moved south and settled in Saigon. So in case you're wondering how people got transported, this is a huge ship that opens at the top. So people call this ship at that time a ship with a wide mouth. Okay, so it's open down, and then people go into here. You can see that. All right. So our family went into and resettled in Saigon, which is the city in the south. Okay, and we all live very close to one another. Okay, so this is Chợ Tân Định, which is where Bà Phú resettled. Okay, this is Ban Ga, which is where Quý and Ông Hưng and resettled, and Ông Đôn settled in a town Cần Thơ, which is on the further south. Okay, so in case you're wondering, Mạc Đĩnh Chi, 40 Mạc Đĩnh Chi, which we'll see later, is somewhere around the Dachau area right here, around here. So all of us were very close together, around 1 kilometer square, this area here. All right. So now let's just say a little bit. Okay. So this is a picture of Bà Phú married, my dad, and had 3 kids. Okay. This is back here. 3 my mom, and that's me. Okay. Okay. So this is a picture taken in 1970s, and my dad had a pharmacy. He was a pharmacist.
He's a pharmacist.
Okay. So. Bà Phú was a teacher, high school teacher at one of the prestigious high school for girls in Saigon. Okay, so here's a picture of her with her students, okay, and here's a picture of her in class. This is Da Long, the name of the school, the high school, and this says Vietnamese literature, which is her specialty. It's an all-girl high school. All-girl high school, very well known. All right. The second, so that's the first. The second is Ông Hưng. Ông Hưng is a very well-known educator. As I mentioned, we came from a family of learning with that values learning, and turns out that a lot of us are teachers. Okay, so here's Ông Hưng when he was quite young and dashing. You got a little bit, just a little bit. He was, as you can see, very dashing. He was a well-known educator. He taught in public school, another famous school for girls, Dinh Vương. He also taught at a private school, Hồ Ngọc Cần, and among others. Actually, he founded many high school like private school, and he also taught at the military school. Okay, so this is a military school of the in Dalat. many, yes, million.
The flag looks like a board flag.
It does look kind of, does look interesting, right? Okay, so it's a military flag. Okay, so, and this is a picture of him and Bidong, probably in early 60s. Now, I'll have to tell you that Ông Hưng was a very well-known person. I'll tell you how well-known it is. Whenever I go and meet old people, I would just drop his name. Okay, and chances are they recognize it. It's like a calling card. Okay, so and then people would recognize it. That's how famous he is. He wrote books, textbooks, and he opened training courses. He was a very well-known, very active and dynamic person. Okay, he's kind of our ringleader. He just like our super teacher. Okay,
We learn math from him.
yes, we all. The third brother, Brandon, your grandfather.
Your grandfather.
Is also a dashing person. He is really stylish, as you can see here. Okay, he traveled widely and dressed in the latest fashion. He was really so he was actually a member of the House of Representatives of the Southern Vietnam.
Republic.
Okay, the second class. It turns out there were only 2 classes because Vietnam fell. South Vietnam fell in 1975. But he was 150 plus members of the House of Representatives. Okay, so he's a really important person. Okay, represented the district of Cần Thơ. Okay, so his wife, Lin's mom, and your grandma was also a lawyer. Both of them were lawyers. Okay, and as you see here, sitting in their office right here in Cần Thơ.
They have a law office.
And here's your dad, Brandon. Okay. Guess who he is? Guess who this is? This is called me. Okay. And this is we call judo. Judo. Okay. So.
That could be. That could be.
Okay. Now the fourth person is not shabby herself, also an educator, a teacher. Okay, she taught at a third well-known high school, Lebanon public school.
For girls.
She taught English, and I don't know if many of you old-timers will remember this English for today. We all study this book, yeah? You remember that? Now, if you look at this, she's in action here as an English teacher. But if you look at don't know, you can see the last picture here. If you squint really hard, you will recognize this. This is the Vietnam USA Association. This is right. English. That's a book. She taught that. So she was, again, somebody with very fluent in English. Okay, so go ahead. Although he's not hard. Again, a dashing young man. Okay. So in case you kind of still confused how Ông Hiền fit into this family, well, he's not one of the 4 children of Ông Bà Cố, but he's almost. Why? Because his mom is the sister of Bà Cố, and his dad is a cousin of Ông Cố. So they're really close, like doubly related on both the father and the mother side. So he's almost the 5th brother of the family, right? So essentially, so Go Hiền was a military doctor. Okay, so you see here the school. This is military school for doctors here. He made it to the rank of major. Okay, so this is and he's not just a doctor back in the city. He actually traveled with the troop and actually involved in serious action. So he was very brave, very brave. If you guys have seen the show MASH, you will see that he's one of those brave doctors that are serious, involved in action. So we were doing fine. Okay. So all of this life was good. As in, if you talk to your parents or older people, you see that Saigon before '75 was a lovely place. It's kind of a colonial, end of century, very peaceful, very lovely place. Okay. unfortunately, all of that changed in 1975. Okay, so that's the next part of our story. How do we come? Well, if Saigon was so great, then how did we
never come here
in Minnesota? And this is why. Okay, this is the date that all of the older Vietnamese remember. It's April 30th. Okay, it's the fall of Saigon. What happened was that the north side, the communist side, overran the southern side. Okay, so as you can see, this is one of the most dramatic picture of the tank going through the house of the southern president. Okay, so and at that time people were trying to get out. Okay, and so about 150,000 people got airlifted out of Saigon. And you see, this is you probably have seen this before through helicopters or through ships. Okay, so this is the chaotic place where people trying to climb the wall of the embassy to get in. Okay, well, we did try that. We didn't succeed. Okay, so all of some people got out, about 150,000 people by ship and by helicopter. So most people got stuck behind, including us, all of us. Okay? So now what happened? So what? Well, so we got stuck and we lived under the communists. And I tell you, it's not easy. Okay, so as we had mentioned, he got captured in the last days of the war. His commanding officer committed suicide, rather than being surrendered to the communists. And he got put into what is known as re-education camp. I think Cậu cũng Cậu Thức was also in that. And
like a prison.
It's essentially prison. The purpose is to wear you down, to break your bodies, and then just to render you useless. So it's a very brutal thing to do. For those who are not, in the military, but somehow related to the government or have money, was sent to what is known as the new economic zone of Kinh tế mới, and your property is confiscated. As you see, these people were probably children of some well-to-do family, but now they were stripped of their properties and they have nothing except the clothes on the back. Now, that's for adults, but if you are kids, it's not that easy. You get grouped into groups, and then
and they talk
forced to learn communism. And so if you look at these faces, none of them are smiling here. Okay, it's not a good life. Yeah, it's not good. And only the older people would recognize this. Anybody recognize this? Okay, life not so bad. In the first few years, that there was not even food to eat. Okay, not enough rice to go around. So what they gave us was just some grain, originally meant for animals. It's animal feed. Yeah. So this is what we ate.
This is known as barley. The thing that you have to cook in soup for a long time.
Yeah, it's not good to eat. Now, I don't want to say that it's all bad stuff in the after the war. One of the bright spots is that it turns out that all of us, ông Hưng, ông Đôn, and cô Quý, and ông Bà Cố, all live together in this house, Martin Chi here. And so in the weekends, our kids, we would play dodgeball. We had a wonderful time, I have to say. Okay, so who is this guy who's pretending to play the guitar? I don't know if he really play, but you can do. And then his okay, so we had some good time. Okay, that's not. And then his Bà Cố and her in-laws. Okay, which is me and Sai. Okay, so okay, so now, but life became unbearable, and then we want to get out. Okay, now the first one to go was Dong. Tony's dad, Brandon's grandfather. Why? Because he was a member of House of Representatives and would be subject to long prison term. He evaded. He didn't show up to be captured, and so he was kind of living under assumed identities. And then he grabbed the first chance to get out. Okay, so so at that time the government tried to expel Chinese, and so he went in the first wave. And then unfortunately his ship got lost. He brought his youngest son, which is we call
Tony's youngest brother.
Julu, and then they got lost. And as often the case, it's all usually the best and the brightest who got lost. Okay, so this will kind of tell you the picture was seen from the U.S. You can see the headlines here. It says that actually expelling people from Vietnam was a big business. How does that mean? It means to get out, you need to pay about 10 ounces of gold. At that time, it's about $240 an ounce. So that's the equivalent of about $3,000 in 1978 to get out of Vietnam. Today, that amount would be about $10,000 to get out of Vietnam.
Each.
Right, for each. Okay, so, and you can see, even if you get passage, you get the place on the ship, there's no guarantee you will survive. You can see this says here 143 feel lost in Malaysia. Okay, when you go to Malaysia, usually their ship get pushed out. And so what people end up doing is that they beach them, they either destroy the ship or they beach themselves into an uninhabited island. So that was tough. And this is not to mention that they get robbed by Thai pirates along the way. Okay, there was many horrible stories about how people got robbed on sea. So it was very rough, a rough passage. Okay, so that's the general idea. Okay, so for our family, this is how we escaped. Okay, so here, as you know, Saigon, which is Ho Chi Minh City now. The way we did it is we moved in several stages. We took a bus. Okay, this is how, not your nice Greyhound comfortable bus. This is AC, without AC and with a lot of chicken and bicycle on top. No, it's like packed like sardine. And we took, it's a long one day out to this port city of Baghdad. Okay, now my personal memory of this is that the seafood was spectacular. Okay, if you guys have a chance to visit, it's like that, eat seafood. Okay, we stayed in a safe house and was given wonderful Chinese food by the family who lived there.
Seafood and pineapple.
Pineapple, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, wait. Okay, so after a few weeks in that safe house, we traveled by bus and then by ferry to the place called Takka, which is kind of like the staging ground for ship to leave. And as you can see here, it takes about we crossed ferry, and this is where we live. This is very close to my memory of what Takka was like. Like a village. Yeah, it's like undeveloped. It has wonderful pineapples and coconuts and other fruits. It's actually the pineapples here is well known. So we stayed there for maybe a month and a half, and then finally we have a boat. We took a rickety boat packed with 300 people to cross the sea, to cross the Gap, to go to Malaysia. Okay, so this is, I think everybody who's on that ship would recognize this. This is how the ship left the port. As you can see, this is no way to cross the, okay, if they continue on this, in this condition, the ship would have been lost, okay? So what happened is that they have to stop the ship, kick everybody out, reload the ship, and then put people back in. Now, what happened in the meanwhile, this is not worth mentioning if not for an important event. What happened is that, how many people got on it? Me, the three, Cô Quý and Cậu Hiển, and the three of us got on.
And then me
and
Tony.
and Cậu Hưng got on. But when after they reloaded the ship, they could not. They left Cậu Hưng behind. And so then we lost one person immediately already. Okay. So let me just back up and so as you can see, this is the picture when we arrived in Malaysia. So we came Cô Quý, Bà Quý and ông Hiển, and that's Vietnam one. And then that's police. Okay, they lost their ID picture, but they would have the same some sort of ID picture like this. Now, let me just back up and say a little bit about this. Now, originally the plan was for my mom, for my Phu, to go with the three of us. Ông Thứ was to stay behind. Here's where Bà Phu made an important decision, and that would affect all of us later on. She decided that she would stay behind, and then gave up her seat for Bà Quý and Cậu Hiển. Okay, so and they actually were our surrogate parents, and I will explain that they were actually our parents in every sense of the word. Started but late.
And let me stop. Everyone here, the 5 kids that go. Until now, they call me Queen. Queen là bà Queen nhưng mà xưng em. And they say they call themselves like brother, so we are the same brand. The reason was, one was 13 years old, the youngest, and my sister told me, she know that life in a refugee camp will be hard. He's the youngest, so he treat him a little favorably. So when we were at the refugee camp here, and Tony, maybe me doesn't have it, Tony have to line up and get the water from Kuala Lumpur. We don't have drinking water. Every day we have to line up, and we have to line up for the food. And she said, treat him favorably. He was excused from the camp. And the other guys are jealous in a very loving way, and they call him Queen's son. That's his name now. It's no, because he was treated favorably until today.
But fortunately, he would only exempt it for a short period of time.
I don't know, but he exempted. And then he have the harder job because he's the cook. He cooked, and the 2 food that we have for 9 months or 10 months was the canned green bean with the chicken back. That's the soup, and the sardine. That's the 2 food we eat, no vegetable, until the time we are tired. And Richard said he will fry the fish, so he gave a little better taste.
He was very creative.
And I have to cook, and we cook with the log, and I still have the sign of refugee camp because I burned, and I have to put out everyone shouted, and I have to throw out the pan, otherwise I get burned. And I still have the bird sign. The scar is still with me after 40 years. That's how it was. So that's the white one was the fabric.
Okay. So these 2, I just want you guys to look at these pictures. This is pretty close to what our condition was. Those were really packed. And there was absolutely, you just pile one against another for 3 days. Okay, and it was pretty, it was touch and go. There was no guarantee that we would reach the other side. And in fact, many boats were lost. Okay, we were extremely lucky to not to.
The boat may be twice as long as this room, and that 384 people packed on it, both on top and bottom. Twice as long as this, it's about the size of this room.
So as I remember that Hung got behind after reloading the boat. Okay, being hung, he's out. He's like a James Bond. Okay, he jumped on the next boat, and which ended up in Indonesia. Okay, and he actually got a better deal than us. Look at how comfortable he is. Okay, so we gotta move along because I think we're running.
People will be hungry.
Yeah.
That's not great.
We have 15 minutes. Okay.
We have half an hour. 6:15 will be.
Okay, now I just want to mention that not all of us went by boat. Okay, so your grandmother,
Your grandmother
decided not to leave by boat because understandably because of your grandfather was lost at sea, and she decided to take the land route, which was a lot harder, which was more perilous and a lot harder. So she crossed Cambodia and all the way to the border between Cambodia and Thailand and lived in that refugee camp. It was a very courageous woman. It's amazing. And there she is in the camp. Okay, I just want to quickly give you an idea of what it's like when we reach Malaysia. Okay, so we all hit this uninhabited island called Pulau Bidong, which became the home of so many refugees. You can see that this is the headline in New York Times in 1975 that says 38,000 people crammed into this island. Now this whole island is 1 mile square mile long, but we did not have the whole space. If you just look at this water here, this is the space, the livable space that we were crammed in. It was very crowded. Okay, and so the way we and us came into shore is like this. This is exactly how we came into shore. The boat sank near the beach, and we just have to swim in. Okay, Bafu and my dad came later on a bigger boat, and they had a slightly easier time, and they came through the jetty. But this kind of hopefully gives you an idea of how crowded the island was. This is how it looks, what it looks like. Okay, so here's a picture of 40 years ago. That's my dad, that's Bafu, that's Mapui, that's Tohin, that's Tony, that's your, okay, and Tony, just like his father, was very stylish, even on the island, okay, he was really stylish. And then that's Bucket and me, okay. Here's Mapui, proposing to next to the house. I just want you to focus on, how muddy the ground is and the wall of the house is just made out of tar. Okay. And Gomi, this pretty little girl. Okay, she was my age. Shouldn't say little girl, but we're about 15 then. Okay, here she is in a small house, and I would just point out two things. First of all, the helmet, the universal helmet that you will find in every house, as well as boxes of ration. And you can see Malaysian MRSCS here. All right, so these are the pictures. Okay, so what did we eat? Well, here's how we ate. We ate the United Nations ship in food in rations, and this is how once the ration boxes came in, we all came out and taken it. Okay, you can see the boxes here. Okay, and to get drinking water, we have to go and stand in line. This is how we got our drinking water.
Most of us were shirtless.
Okay, and this is the food, and what you find in the food ration: chicken, peas, and then baked beans and sardines. Okay, so there's sardines right there, and the chickens. Okay,
the rations are actually really good. I tried
it's really
yesterday.
Yeah, it's not a real restaurant.
Okay.
Well, it's close enough.
Yeah. What else do we do there? Okay, so some of us work, like Ông Hiền, being a doctor, he then worked in the sick bay. So he treated Babui's burn, and as well as he treated me and Magnam's malaria. We contracted malaria somewhere along the route, and then without him, we might have been a footnote by now, and there wouldn't be any Miller. I mean, that would have been, and then so but we, being a teacher, English teacher, worked in the resettlement camp to help to interpreter, and so she would work with members of the delegation from other countries like this to interview potential immigrants, and then at home she taught us English. Okay, this is remember. I don't know if you remember, but you taught us our book, something like this. Okay. It's not just all work and study. We play a lot. Okay. In fact, if you talk to your parents, I think all of us agree that Bidong was the best time of our lives. Seriously. Why? We went swimming every afternoon. Okay, this is the zone C here. We play chess. Okay, there's a no school. On him. It's like he's like the MacGyver. Okay, I actually the morning that I wake up after swimming to the beach, I found him walking along the beach collecting stuff that might be helpful for our resettlement. He was just like, I mean, oh my God, he can survive anywhere. Okay, so he took a small tree and cut into little chess pieces for us to play. Okay, so now unfortunately we love the game so much that one day we forgot to go and pick up food supply, and so what happened is that our food was thrown through the into the ocean. Well, let's just tell you that we never miss picking up food again. Okay, we play a lot of cards, and then at night, in the afternoon, we go to the beach, and then just to sit next to coffee shops, and they would play really lovely songs. Okay, so it was a really nice time. After 6 or 7 months for Bakwi and Gohen, and then for about 13 months for us, we then get resettled in the US. But it's not, you don't get to resettle in one, you have to go to a transit camp, and it's just really primitive condition here. And you can see that, okay? We live just packed together like this. And then eventually we got to take the, so we took a boat from the island, took a bus from the island to that transit camp, and then we flew out, okay? So, so Bakwi and went first, and they resettled in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, so now, up to this point, life was pretty much dependent on fate. Okay, what I want to tell you now is that after this point, Bakwi and Gohen and Bafu made a series of important decisions that would change our lives, so that they're like what we are today. Okay, so here's the first decision that Bakwi made. After she landed in Minneapolis, Ông Hưng was already in the US, and he was just traveling around and trying to find the best state to live in. Okay, so the first thing that Bakwi did was to call Ông Hưng and convince him to come back to Minnesota to form a family there. Now, there's absolutely no guarantee that Ông Hưng would go or not, but Bakwi was very persuasive, and that's what he did. Okay, so here a picture somewhere in 1973 where Bakwi, Gohen, and Ông Hưng formed together. Now, in the meantime, Bafu and her family resettled in Connecticut on the East Coast. Minnesota is in the middle of the country. Bafu in the East Coast, and what happened next is that Bakwi called Bafu and convinced her to move to Minnesota. Now, if you think about it, that was a difficult decision for Bafu, right? It's colder in Minnesota, right? I mean, there's no reason why. I mean, at least in Connecticut, there was my dad's brother who at least there's some support there. I mean, and it was very difficult. The decision was very difficult for my dad because he just got reunited with his brother, and he wanted to spend time and to continue reunite with his brother. But somehow, we convinced Bafu to go, and then that's what we did. We moved to Minnesota. And this is the picture right after we arrived in Minnesota. Ông Hưng was the person taking the picture, and that's Bafu and us. That's we and
You have a warm glow.
so I'll just call your attention here. Ông Thứ was 55, about my age at this point. Remember, 55, dropped in an entirely new country and barely speak the language. Bafu was about 49 at that time. Okay, just a little bit younger than me. Okay, but we, I don't know, he was 38. But he was 20. He's 18. But I was 16 and I was 15. And also was also 3. Okay.
Nice picture.
Right, so that's good. Okay, meantime, and I have to say that among the cousins, Bing is the bravest one. Okay, he left the country essentially fending for himself. Okay, we at least have we and as our supervisor. It was and me. We're just kind of a little bit without the parents. Okay, as you know, because of family. But we also sponsored it to Minnesota. Okay, as you can see now, this didn't happen by fate, but we actively build a community, build a family here, and but we also sponsor your grandmother over. So by the end of 1980, we have a little cluster of family in Minnesota. I want to emphasize, this did not happen by accident. This is due to a series of decisions by Bafu and Bapui, and this is really based on fate. There was no guarantee that sticking together we might die all together. Okay, so in the terrible winter of Minnesota. Okay, now and look at two. In 1981, you see here he appeared in his true form. No, if you think he looks too happy, it's true. Because if you put yourself in Jews' place, at that time, all of his cousins have left. All of his uncle and aunts have left. He was the only one left to tend to the fort with Ông Bà. And he was, I'm pretty sure that life was depressing at that time. And there was no promise that it would change. But it did change, and look at the face. No, we were very happy that we were given a second lease on life. Okay, so in 1984, Ông Bà came, which is Ông Bà Go. And then you can see now that we have a little latte in Minneapolis. Okay, so this happened through active building, family building, and not just because life just blow us together. Okay, so all right. In 1984, we also welcomed Bà Hiền, who is Ông Hien's mom. Okay, which is Bà Go's sister. Okay, and then yes, and then here you see a picture of Bà Hiền and Ông Hien's brother, which I call Cậu Chiều. Okay. Cậu Chiều had left, emigrated a long time ago on a scholarship to France. Okay, so but he came to visit us. In 1993, we welcomed Cậu Hân Hấp. Our little village of Nam now is complete. So you can see this is little me. This is that's little cute boy there. Okay, so and you can see, and then that's so this is how we ended up in Minnesota. Okay. Now, at this point, you say, okay, then you know, blah, 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 and then okay, so you know, we live happily ever after. No, this is where the heart will start. So yeah, so what? So you build a little village of family together. How are you gonna eat? How are you gonna live? Again, you will see that bà Phú and bà Quý and cậu Hiền and cậu Hưng made a series of important decisions that will affect us as a family. And here's what we did.
Will invest.
As you know, that there are many choices. Okay, and for us coming from a scholarly family, I think it was kind of clear that the way out of the ghetto, the way to raise ourselves of dependence is through education. And I want to leave this in this is one of the take-home points that I want to leave with you. That this is no, I'm not saying that this is the solution that you should take, but in tough times, we have to make a crucial decision, and the decision that our first generation made was to go for education, and it turned out to work out well for us. Okay, so here's what happened. We studied from the oldest to the youngest. Okay, so a lot of us went to study in the University of Minnesota. Okay, Bing's mom, Brandon's grandmother, studied one of the women pioneer in high-tech electronics. She studied in a Brown Institute, a well-known institute, a place to train you for high-tech. Ông Hiền stayed at home and to retrain himself as a doctor. All of us, we went to high school. Okay.
Oh, you went.
Right. We studied law school. This is Bác Hiệp study engineering. Bà Phú study general college, and ông Thứ, which is my dad, studied pharmacy. Okay. Now, I will tell you that there's no guarantee that they would even graduate. Okay, right? There's no guarantee. Now, why? Let me just focus on Bạc Quý. She came in. She just fresh off the boat. She was an English teacher. She has no children. Yes, so she was relatively free, and she had the language skill. But she applied to the law school at University of Minnesota, which is one among the top 10 law school in the country. Yeah. Imagine if you were to put me in Germany now, and then ask me to apply to a law school with barely speaking the language in Germany, would I dare to do it? Is that a smart call? It's not clear at all that Bạc Quý would succeed. Okay.
But I did the made decision because I was ignorant. Not that I'm smart.
You're wise.
Well, it was a good bet. It was not guaranteed. Same thing with ông Hiền. He told me that when he decided to, after he decided to retrain, he picked up books and to study, right? It took him a day to read 5 pages. And the book is like thousands of pages.
His English is not good.
How many years would it take him to retrain, right? I mean, so there was absolutely no guarantee that they would succeed. And this is incredible. And for me, I have to say, as a second, for us, we just went to high school. Okay, so we had some leeway with. But for Bác Chứ and Bác Hiệp, they went straight from Vietnam to college, competing with, I mean, the cream of the United States, right? I mean, it's tough. I mean, there was no guarantee that they.
But they did as well or better than.
Well,
yeah.
We'll say more about it. Okay, so if you visit us during the time, this is what you will see. You'll see Cô Quý with always with a legal pad. You will see a highlighter in Cô Hiền hand. We would see a dictionary in every desk. You will see flashcards. You would see this is for Bà Phú. Bà Phú would go to lecture with a recorder so that she can listen. this is what we use. This is our calculator, and this is our computers here. And we could only afford these later on. All of us have a backpack, and on our desk there'll be books like this. Okay, so see, and how do we get around? Well, we took buses until later on when we could afford. That we can share, ride together, okay? And this is how we dress, okay? You can look, this is like how cold Minnesota is, okay? I'll have to tell you that at some time I kind of question the move, how cold it is. Okay, so we also ate a lot. We essentially, we break from our study to eat, and then we study again. But if you look at the faces here, we were extremely happy. We're very poor. And you see, this is steak. And you can see it have steak because that's not different.
New Year celebration.
Yeah, this is that. But we were very extremely happy. Okay, we ate, and you see, we also ate together. Okay, as a family.
I have to stop and say the story of Ted. He had told his mother, tomorrow is Vietnamese New Year. We didn't have anything because it's a school day. She said go to school. So she told me the story because we live in 3 apartments. I got into my store and I have 2 bags of green bean. So I make a sweet dessert with the green bean and I shared it 3 homes. And that's our New Year. Because when I heard that, he upset. Tomorrow is New Year.
I basically just want to say something sweet.
And she said, we go to school, New Year, no New Year. So she told me the story and I felt so bad. I look at my cupboard and I see 2 bags of green bean. I make a sweet thing, add some sugar, and I divide into 3 bowls for 3 families. That's how we celebrate New Year.
And I'll tell you that it tastes as good as the food today. That's how bad it looks like. Okay, so now I just have to give you this slide. Why to shop? Well, we shop at supermarket as everybody else. The reason I put on this slide is because Bafu and Bagui shop at the supermarket on foot. They did not have a car. And weekends, they would have to carry food for 5 people or 3 people or 4 people by foot, so that they carry those grocery bags on the bus and then took the bus back to the apartment. That's how they did, and not besides studying. Okay, so that's how they took care of their family. Okay, but we also have fun. As you can see, people started to heard about this little enclave of Dam in Minneapolis, and they started to visit. So here we have Jung, which is the younger brother of Go. Here you have Tam, which is the younger sister of Go. And then here you have Fat, which is the older sister of both Go and him, who's here.
They're from France and California. They were from France and California.
So you see here, we also have a reunion. Okay, so we have our cousin
Jewish brother,
Jewish brother and sister who are now living in Texas, right?
California.
And then we have visit from Kunjao, which is another. And then if you look at this picture, this is a picture around 1984 where all of us. That's our first apartment as well. In 1983, we moved to Cedar Square. Okay, I don't know you guys, the Minnesotans, you know what that is.
The high rise.
High rise. This is a picture of the inside of the apartment. I had to say that it was lovely. It was a move up.
Step up from.
A step up. Okay, now for those of you who know this, the history of this people shudder when we mention Cedar Square West, because it was the project where murders occur. Murder rates was pretty high.
But we think we move up.
Yeah, it was a move up for us.
We have more spaces.
Okay, so now. After 4 or 5 years, it turns out that their bets on education paid off. We started to grow. Okay, so in 1985 we became citizens. So here's Bagui with her sponsor the Reynolds. Okay, so here's Ông Hiền and Bà Hiền, and then here's Bà Phú and her family. In '84, but we graduated. It's really nothing short of a miracle. But we graduated from the University of Law School and passed the bar on her first attempt. Okay, and this is amazing. So now we kind of know why she met, because she knows that she's good. Right? Okay, so in '85, Bà Phú graduated from and then a bunch of us graduated from high school. Okay, this is Bidong Nam in '82. That's me in '83, and that's Gomi in '84. Okay, so we were moving up in the world.
No, what I have to say, when they graduate from high school, I was supposed to know miến gà, the green bean with, and then after I cook, and Tony's mom asked me, where is the chicken?
She was so excited that she forgot about that.
Just give them the.
Now we also have people graduate from college. Well, back then
Even I graduated at the same time.
in '84, and then Ju graduated in '84. I have to say that Ju, when Ju graduated, a lot of people was heartbroken. Why? Because Ju, again, being he built a big Vietnamese community. So
He's president.
he was president. Not only he was a president and doing good entertainment, but he personally tutored a lot of Vietnamese students, and many of us got degrees because of Ju. So he was.
I remember Mimi told me the story. After the exam, on the student at the school asked her, where's Ju? And she told them, during the class, nobody asked me. I know, during the exam, you took my cousin, and now after the exam, you don't know where he is, because they depend on him on tutoring them for exam, and me was very upset with them, but she gave them a hard time.
And that's well, he didn't have to do that, and he was as a hallmark of the dam, he was doing it as a public service, and I truly.
He looked nice, huh?
And he looks nice, and his our lovely cousin Me also looks really nice here. Okay, so she Me at that time is become a beauty of the University of Minnesota. She was a well-known beauty in school. Okay, so you see. Yes, Miller.
I just slide you over.
Almost. I know.
15 minutes.
Okay. So then we became homeowners. Okay, that's Bà Quý house. That's Bà Phu's house. That's Ông Hien's house, and then that's Cô Min's house. Okay, so we became taxpayers. Okay, we work for our money. Okay, so Bà Phu returned to be a teacher. Okay, and Hưng
was teaching.
He taught at college, taught math in college, and Bà Quý again here's a decision, an important decision that she did not decide to cash in on her law degree. She couldn't make a lot of money. With a prestigious degree from the prestigious law school, she decided to go into public service and work for the state. Okay, and same for Ông Hiền, decided to work as a psychiatrist. Okay, and your Bà Nguyen working in high tech. Okay, she was again once of the first. This is before high tech became hot. This is not only were we taxpayer, we were real contributors. Okay, so Bà Phu and together with my dad founded probably the first elderly program for Minneapolis. And that was something that was really useful for the elderly community there. So that's again we see contribution, service, public service. Ông Hiền, and as I will go through a bunch of awards here, and I want to pick out this is that the word excellence, contribution appears regularly. So this says outstanding contribution to the psychiatry residency program for Ông Hiền.
eat.
This says outstanding service and contribution to Dr. Hiền Nam. Okay. Ông Hưng, besides teaching math in college, studied Chinese, and he was following the scholarly tradition, and he translated a well-known Chinese novel into Vietnamese. Originally it was published in the United States, but then it got picked up, revised, and republished in Vietnam. Okay, so this is like by nhà xuất bản văn nghệ in Vietnam. This is the okay, bà Quý, okay, became head of the Minnesota Refugee Immigration Service and Section. She got featured prominently in the Sun Tribune paper. It says much and much achievement. Okay, so she was recognized profusely for her contribution. So this says that recognition of long-standing and consistent record of excellence performance. This says thank you for making our community a better place.
I just want to say, this is not an annual award that you get some money. This is the Commissioner Award. There are only 11 people of the biggest state government that ever got it. And this plate will stay with the state forever. And I have never seen it because I retired. I got the picture from my goddaughter who's still working and took a picture, but I never come in to see it on the wall of the state. There are only 11 people of the state of Minnesota that have this stay for life with the state. And so I'm not bragging. I say that's the
grateful appreciation and commitment to the well-being of the refugee community. This says that she is recognized as a lifetime achievement here. Okay. Here's Bà Quý received a word, a really important award from the Chief Justice of Minnesota. It says that in recognition of her dedication and commitment to public service and public practice of law. Notice that it says that she did not use her law degree to make money. She devoted her life to public service. And here's a certificate of recognition from the governor for Columbia. It says for recognition of nearly 22 years of excellent service to the state of Minnesota and the Department of Human Services with appreciation and respect of the people of Minnesota. Okay, so moving on, Milan. Okay, so we're doing, and then you see that we have addition to our regional people who came to the United States. So here you see all 6 cousins. Okay, Bác Hiệp, Bác Nam, me, you, and me. We all got married and have families. Okay. And that's you guys. Okay.
Kids, yeah.
So now I'm gonna call on you guys to say a little bit about yourself. Okay, so Theo, could you say quickly in one sentence, explain this picture here?
Okay, so that's me playing my violin in the fall concert for my school. It's a really great school.
Okay.
It has a great violin.
All right, that's good. And this is a picture of Nathan playing in a play. Yeah. Okay, good job, Nathan. Okay. Okay, Mason, your turn.
Okay, that's me playing as Caesar, the Roman emperor, in a short scene.
And you look really nice.
Yeah.
You look nice. Wait, how about this picture? With some more award here.
So, oh yeah, that's the award ceremony.
What ceremony?
Yeah. So basically, unlike other schools where they give awards for how well you do, they only give awards to those kids who are the best in that subject.
Okay. Madison, where's Madison?
Where's Madison?
Tell us what this picture here. are you ready to kill someone here? I see that you are in
Black girl, can you say something?
Please say something. Okay, so let me just say for you, Madison. Okay, so here she is in her martial practice. Okay, she's and then she's in Milan. Milan, that's your picture, right? Can you tell us where you got this face painting from? Okay, well, okay, you look very cute. All right. So wait. Okay, so next up is Brandon. Okay, Brandon is our oldest in the next generation, and also one of the most accomplished too. He has a lot of things to say. Please tell us a little bit about this.
Oh, that's in 9th grade when I won a national essay competition. It's about against domestic violence. And it won out of like many essays in Houston. I was chosen as the national ambassador to travel to Washington, D.C. and present my speech.
And he gave me some gift. He was invited to Washington, D.C. when his writing will be adopted to the Library of Congress. We'll stay there forever.
This one
he wrote about youth violence.
This is this
Yeah, that's the
Washington D.C.
Yeah, that's the Library of Congress, and that's all people from different states too.
How many students are in each state?
How many what from each state?
I guess there was like four cities in Texas, but some states only had one.
So it's not okay. You met with a lot of important people here. This is the Harlem Globetrotter, and
that's the I think Attorney General of Texas.
And this is your student of the year.
Yeah.
Right, award.
That's the
principal.
The new principal.
Okay.
Or the district, somebody in the district.
Okay, and all of you know who this is. This is the senator of Texas, Ted Cruz. Okay, so as you can kind of see that we may have another politician in the family. Your grandfather was a member of representative. Who knows? Okay, I'm just saying. Okay.
It's not something that fit him.
There's a picture of you graduating high school, right? Okay. All right, Brittany. All right. Come on, Brittany.
Brittany, what's this?
That was in 6th grade. I think it was an art contest, and then one of my pieces got chosen to go to
It's a blue ribbon there, right? Okay. And that's what about this picture?
Oh, that was for a decathlon competition.
Okay.
So it was academic decathlon where we like tried for different subjects. And
I see. So not only one subject, but you gotta put it all around. Okay. You won 2 important awards here.
That was for my initiation to the National Honor Society.
Right. This is the first one, right?
Oh no, this is a different.
Oh, this is a different one. Okay. That's right. Okay. So that's one.
National Honor Society, and then this one's Spanish National Honor Society.
And then this one.
That was for FBA, so like the Future Business Leaders of America, and then we qualified for state, and we won 2nd place.
Okay.
Second in the state.
Okay. So again, we see here that really Whitney came from a scholarly family.
I want to say that all the grandchildren, grandnephew and nieces are great in each different way. But I want to say that Brittany is the one that is very consistent because she's in 11th grade next year. And for all her, because to encourage you, she has to report and write to me every semester. And this is the one, everyone is great in different way. This is the one that's so far. She on in gifted classes, meaning if you are in math class, on A will be advanced, but you have on the A student have to take the class being gifted. And on the gifted classes so far, she has been in on gifted classes up to 10th grade, through 10th grade. She never got a B in her life. You have to, that is something that I haven't And last minute, I called her and said, how's your grade? She said, oh, I got on A, but my Spanish, I cannot compete with Spanish students because that's their language. So I said, but you got A? She said, but I got only 94. So I said, what do you expect to get in other? She said, 100 or 99. She put herself, and every time I want to tell her is, low down the standard, because I don't want her to spend too much time. She stay up until 2, 3 in the morning. That's not good. Okay? Enjoy life.
When they had your last name be different than that, then that would be a surprise. But you know, in fact, you are expected. Okay, good job.
Good job.
Okay, good job. Okay, Bradley. Last but not least. Okay, please tell us your achievement. Okay, this is
Principal.
I got the Principal's Award
Yes.
and Gold Honor.
Okay. Wow.
Principal Award and Gold Honor.
And obviously you are your grandmother's favorite, I can tell. Yeah. All right. Okay. So now Bridget and Brooke cannot be here with us. So their moms can tell us.
Yes, they regrettably cannot be here with the rest of the family. But ông Hiền we also encouraging them from not only from the academic side, but also from the physical development side, so that
I see. You can see some of the dam in there.
This is the musical side of the dam as well.
And the wedding, yeah?
So she's at my wedding, I believe.
That's where she played. That's where she played Love Me Tender.
That's right. Okay, very nice.
And what is wedding?
In my wedding.
One's wedding.
And you can, don't know you can read it, but this is in perfect fluent Vietnamese. It says, con chúc mẹ an khang thịnh vượng và luôn luôn vui.
So the assignment there for Bridget. Bridget's taking Vietnamese class as a second language, as a foreign language class in high school. So the assignment is to write one wish for your mom for the new year. But she designed the whole card and to get the
pie.
So only
beautiful. We're very proud of her. Okay. Now, of course, we all get married and have family, but we also have her own family. How? She kept adopting. I thought you would stop adopting you. But she adopted 3 boys and then 5 girls. Okay, so all of
they
us.
got children.
And here we are. About in
8 years for my 70th birthday.
And it says mẹ nuôi quý, and that's both figuratively and literally. Okay. Okay, so that's okay. That's okay. Now I want to say a little bit about now. I remind you that we did a lot to build this family in Minnesota, but then after she retired, she also wanted to build another community. We're almost done. Yeah. Okay. So she got involved in the temple of Chùa Phật An here, and play a big part in developing this community of Buddhists and in building a place for worshiping, as well as a community center. And this is a beautiful temple here with a lot of contribution from the community. Okay, so that's a picture of her. Yi. Okay, so you say joining following Buddhist teaching. There's Ông Hiền taking the vow to follow Buddhist teaching, and again, they are not just Buddhists. They are part of the board that help actively contribute to the organization, the running operation of the temple. And this picture shows we at signing a meeting where they signed
They signed a contract to build the $2 million.
Here's this is here. This is
Currently. I'm not on the board.
which is the executive board, right? So they did a lot in community service. Okay, so finally, I just want to show you that they did spend a lot of time together. Again, family is really important to them. And we don't have to tell. We just let the picture tell the story. Look how happy they are. When they hang together, they like to hang together. Okay, there they are. In Rushmore, what some of you guys are gonna visit? Yellowstone, Grand Canyon, Hawaii. And then this is the picture that we took just a few months from your dad passing. Thank you very much. All right, so just a few more things. Okay, so let's just remember people who have passed. My dad. Okay, he I can remember he wanted to study to retake his pharmacy degree, but he was diagnosed cancer soon after he came to the United States. And although he could not continue to study, he contributed to the family, and actually he helped us a lot.
He cooked.
Nam biết a lot.
Yeah. So this picture was taken. I think he even helped Nam to move to Wisconsin, and this picture was taken after that. Okay, uncle, bà cố. Okay, they were able to join us, and then they cô Quý and cậu Hưng and cậu Hiền took care of them very well. Here's uncle and his younger brother at the 90th birthday. Here's bà cố at her 80th birthday, and here's the uncle bà cố together at the 60th wedding anniversary. You can see us exchanging vow again. Okay, and here's a phrase that her younger brother gave her that says hợp gia bình an.
United family.
But isn't that what happened? Right? Hợp gia bình an. Here we are.
Yeah,
right?
we are.
Okay. So bà Hiền and cậu Diệu. This is ông Hien's mother and ông Hien's younger brother also passed, and so Hiền was able to take care of both of them. And here's our ringleader. Our simple.
Very easygoing ringleader.
He was vigorous to the very end. Here he is, just he was just we just Okay, and this is your grandmother, and she remembered that her husband, put yourself in her position, her husband and younger son lost his seat. She had to take care of her two kids, right, two children, and at some point, all three of them were living in different places. She was living in Thailand, Nick was living in Malaysia, and then me was living somewhere else. And it was it was not an easy effort for her to reunite the family, as you can see here, and to see the enemy to professional and family personal success, and to see also growth, to see what's happening. So we also miss her very much. Okay, so I was just gonna leave you a few words. So what happened to the places that we have visited? Okay, so Lake, what happened to Lake today? So it turns out that one of our relatives, Liu Van Britain, visited Lake in 1993, and he reported that đẹp như trên vai F. You can see the nice scenery here. Dân tình vẫn tốt. So people are still very kind to one another. And giọng nói vẫn không đổi. You still have the same accent. So this is in 93. We visited. And he said this is from Bidong Reunion. And if you look at the map, Bidong Reunion is right here. Okay, so this is exactly the place where he visited. Hai Bà Trưng, this is where Bà Phú originally placed, Bà Phú in Saigon. I came back to Saigon in 2001, and the house still looked the same, but in 2007 it looks completely different.
Totally different. Totally different.
4D Mạc Đĩnh Chi, the place where we had so much fun together, where it's like the family compound, now has changed a lot too. And I'd like me to say a few words about it, because you can see that she was visiting Mạc Đĩnh Chi on business here. So we can we just 2 more slides and we're done. Okay.
So in the year 2000, I went back to visit them. Do you have? At the time, you had watch the building.
It was one slide.
Okay, let's see. Okay.
One more with 1 minute.
It's all changed in my mind. You can see the front yard.
Yeah, already the food now. Food, okay.
Okay, so there's a hole on top, right? That's why. Okay, so Pulo Bidong today, the government decided to leave it, to let it go back to its natural state, and so you can see the church is falling apart. Portland, the place is the complex where we all grew up. We stayed when we first came, and now has completely changed. This is
a new place now.
Right, this is the place. Cedar Square is still there, but now no longer inhabited by Vietnamese. Now there's a new wave, immigrant wave coming in Somalia. And for the Minnesotans, Inhan Omar, her family is from there. Okay, and actually she represents this district.
Then
U of M, this university has changed. So for those of you who are interested, okay, this museum wasn't there when I left, and this is Lin Hall. This is completely different. Okay, so thank you very much for the.
okay.
Okay, hi everybody. We have fun this time. So there will be 2 events for the next 2 years. Next year, in Christmas time, there will be happy birthday cho cậu, 90 years old, and happy birthday cho Hiệp, 60 years old. So there will be 2 places bidding for the event, very important. And right now, the first place will be Houston, Texas, and the second place is TBD. But I think Houston will win. And then in 2021, we will have in July 5th. Remember, we will have another big event. Will be 80 years old celebration of Bakwin, and then there will be a tag-along celebration 80 years of Ông Hiến, and then a tag-along celebration of 60 years old myself. Okay, so everybody have to show up. Everybody have to save money for those 2 trips. And if you don't make it, you are in deep trouble. Bye bye.
Dạ thưa các cụ, các anh chị, em xin có vài lời về những chương trình kế tiếp sau đây trong tương lai thì mình đã sáng nay anh chứ đã nói về 2 cái event lớn sắp đến là Giáng sinh năm 2020 và xin bổ sung thêm là xin các cụ và các anh chị giữ giùm em ngày 15 tháng 5 năm 2023 là sẽ em ra trường luật, nên em kính mời các cụ, các anh chị cùng với các cháu đến San Jose để celebrate cùng với gia đình em. Đó sẽ là một vinh dự lớn cho em. I'm look forward to see you in San Jose.
Thể phai mờ kỷ niệm tuổi thơ, đâu có thể phai mờ. Cho ta còn đó chút ngây thơ, đến mãi bây giờ nhớ hoài quang bí vàng của tuổi thơ, nhớ hoài con bướm vàng thời mộng mơ. Thuở ban đầu dệt mộng ngày xanh, ôi cái thuở ban đầu bâng khuâng một mái tóc bay bay, tóc xõa dài gầy, tóc dài hoàng bí cài dao láng mây, bóng chiều đang xuống dần mà nào hay. Anh cùng em bắt bướm bay vô dương, mà nước mắt rưng rưng. Anh đền em màu hoa bí vàng, thay con bướm vàng nghe thương nhớ mơn man. Nay bí trộn hoa vàng về lại trường xưa, nay bí trộn hoa vàng. Bâng khuâng chợt nhớ sắc hoa xưa, hoa vẫn tươi màu, mái trường xưa con là quan hát lâu, biết tìm con bướm vàng giờ ở đâu. Thuở ban đầu dệt mộng ngày xanh, ôi cái thuở ban đầu bâng khuâng một mái tóc bay bay, tóc xõa dài gầy, tóc dài hoàng bí cài dao láng mây, bóng chiều đang xuống dần mà nào hay. Anh cùng em bắt bướm bay vô dương, mà nước mắt rưng rưng. Anh đền em màu hoa bí vàng, thay con bướm vàng nghe thương nhớ mơn man. Nay bí trộn hoa vàng về lại trường xưa, nay bí trộn hoa vàng. xưa con là quan hát lâu, biết tìm con bướm vàng giờ ở đâu. Mái trường xưa con là quan hát lâu, biết tìm con bướm